In a quiet village surrounded by wide fields and dusty roads lived a young man named Arjun. Life in the village moved slowly, almost lazily, but for Arjun each day felt heavy. His family were farmers, as they had been for generations. His father worked the land from sunrise to sunset, his hands rough and his body tired, yet the struggle never seemed to end. Every year brought the same cycle: hope at the time of sowing, prayer during the rains, and anxiety at harvest. Sometimes the rains failed. Sometimes pests destroyed the crops, and sometimes the market price fell so low that their hard work felt meaningless. Arjun was not afraid of labor, but deep inside him lived a question he could not silence. If hard work alone was enough, why did life never change? At 22 years old, Arjun felt trapped. He woke early, worked all day, and returned home exhausted, only to repeat the same routine again the next morning. While others accepted this life quietly, Arjun's heart resisted. At night, when the village fell silent and the sky filled with stars, he would sit alone and wonder if this was all his future held. He was grateful for his family and his land, yet he feared becoming like so many others, working endlessly without ever moving forward. That fear followed him into his sleep, and many nights he lay awake, staring into darkness. One evening, while returning from the fields, Arjun passed the old village school where only one classroom remained open. Beneath a large neem tree sat Ravi Sir, the village's retired teacher. He was old and thin, his steps slow, but his eyes were sharp and observant. Noticing Arjun's tired face, he called him over and asked him to sit. After a moment of silence, Ravi Sir gently asked why such a young man looked so burdened. Arjun hesitated, then spoke honestly about his frustration, his hard work, and his fear that life would never change. Ravi Sir listened patiently, without interrupting, then finally said something that stayed with Arjun forever. He told him that while he worked hard, he was not working on himself. Most people, he explained, stay busy from sunrise to sunset but never stop to think, learn, or plan. They remain occupied, but directionless. Ravi Sir then asked Arjun what he did during the first hours of his day. Arjun replied that he rushed straight to the fields. The old teacher nodded and told him that this was where his life was slowly slipping away. He challenged Arjun to wake up before sunrise for the next 90 days, not to work, but to read, think, learn, and plan. No distractions, no noise, just silence and self-growth. Arjun found the idea strange. He could not understand how waking early could change anything. But Ravi Sir smiled and told him that it was not the dawn that changed lives, but what people chose to do in those quiet hours. With nothing to lose, Arjun agreed. The next morning, Arjun woke at 4. His body resisted, his eyes burned, and his mind begged him to return to sleep. The village was completely silent, wrapped in darkness. He sat quietly, unsure of what to do, feeling foolish and uncomfortable. That first morning felt useless, but he continued. Days passed, and slowly something shifted. By the 10th day, Arjun had borrowed old books from Ravi Sir, books about farming techniques, discipline, and the lives of people who had risen from nothing. He began taking notes and thinking deeply for the first time in his life. Instead of reacting to his circumstances, he was preparing himself to change them. After a month, Arjun began applying what he learned. He experimented with better irrigation methods, prepared organic compost, and studied which crops suited the soil best. People in the village laughed at him and told him he was thinking too much, that life was simple and should be accepted as it was. Arjun said nothing and continued quietly. Then came failure. Unexpected rains damaged part of the crop, and his new methods did not bring instant results. Doubt returned, and for a few mornings he stopped waking early. Feeling ashamed, he went to Ravi Sir and admitted his disappointment. The old teacher calmly reminded him that failure did not mean he was wrong, only that he was learning something others refused to learn. That night, Arjun set his alarm again. By the second month, Arjun noticed a powerful change within himself. His mind was calmer, his decisions clearer, and his confidence stronger. Even his father noticed that something about him had changed. When harvest season arrived, the results were undeniable. The yield was better than previous years, and the quality of the crops was higher. A trader from the city offered a better price, and for the first time in years, Arjun's family earned a real profit. His father stood silently in the fields, overwhelmed, his eyes filled with tears. Word of Arjun's success spread through the village. People who once laughed now asked him for advice. Young boys asked about his morning routine, and elders listened carefully. Arjun did not boast. He simply told them that changing his mornings had changed his life. Slowly, lights began turning on before sunrise in many homes. One morning, Arjun sat on the same roof where he had once felt hopeless and looked at the sky. Nothing around him had changed, yet everything inside him had. He finally understood that life does not change suddenly, but quietly, through small choices made when no one is watching, and it all begins with the courage to wake up before the world does.